It's a new year. Are you ready for the new year? Are you ready to be focused and more successful than ever? Maybe you're not watching this in January, but some other time. Well, if it's the start of a new school year, a new season, a new job, whatever it is, every day is a new day and a chance to make your life better. If you want more focus, more fulfillment, and more purpose, you've got to make a plan for yourself. And I'm going to show you how with my life coaching guide coming up today on ProjectSkillsMentor.com. Hi, I'm Liz, the Project Skills Mentor, and you can get this guide in the link below, which is my blog, which also shows you an example filled out, and you can just follow along. Also get some inspiration and some encouragement from me, because I want you to do great. Now, I did this guide last year, but I've added to it, so I want to take you through the new parts too. So let's start with page 1. On the top of page 1, we're going to talk about your mood and the date. Why is that important? Because the start of everything is about the date. What are you planning for and what are you looking toward? Is it January 1 or some other date? And next, you're going to want to put your mood, because, you might be filling this out and feeling a little down when you're doing that. You might complete this form at a time when you're really optimistic. It's good if you are either of the extremes to do a plan review in a couple of months and see, do you still feel the same way? Do you still evaluate things the same way? It's always good to do. In fact, I keep these plans no matter what, year over year or every 3 months whenever I do them, because it's a great history. It's a great way to look back and see who I was, how I felt, and actually see progress, which is fantastic. And where I didn't make progress, to refocus myself. So after you've done your date and your mood, let's get into the next part, which is your why. What is your purpose? What is your passion? What makes you want to get up in the morning and punch life in the nose? That's my way of talking about it, but it tries to be enthusiastic, but also directive, focused, achieve-oriented. I'm a very goal-oriented person, and if you're not yet, make a goal for yourself. Tell yourself, what is your why? That's not a task, and it's not an objective. It's really a core value, something that gives you internal drive. Now that we've done some reflection, we want to assess what gives you energy, what takes away your energy, and this can be internal and external forces. You're going to want to think about what motivates and demotivates you, what frustrates you, what energizes you. Write those things down, make notes for yourself, because you're going to want to do things that create more energy and reduce the toxicity and the negative environments you may be faced in. The important thing to know is what's true for you right now. And then you can talk about what you want to do in the future to mitigate the bad and increase the good. It's that simple. But sometimes we don't even focus on what's frustrating us and making negative energy or what's providing positive energy for us. This is a way to do that. Just think it out and write it down. Makes it more real, doesn't it? And something I do as part of this assessment is talk about what I want to be known for. What I want to be known for is kind of my version of what I want to be famous for. It's the idea of, if I heard 2 people talking about me in a positive way, what would I want them to say? And what do I want to have myself say about myself? What do I want to feel good about? So write that down. Make that kind of a mini mission statement for yourself. Like, this is where you want to be. This is your version of success. And we're going to get into the plan for success in a minute, but this is just kind of an inspirational moment for you. And now we're ready to define. What are we defining? Our life wheel. It's a way to take apart your life in parts and really assess it. Now, you're not trying to be mean to yourself, so give yourself grace. So often we say, I'm happy, or I'm sad, or I'm upset, but we don't see what part of our life is driving that. So now, take a moment to do just that. These 8 spokes on a wheel will help you define what's important to you. And if you don't like mine, make your own. Make your own decisions about which parts of your life you want to analyze. But essentially, in my model, we have health, and that means physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual health. All of the components of that aspect of your life, you will write a little note about. You will give yourself a number from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, and sort of get a sense of where you are today. You'll do the same with finances, with personal goals. Do you have goals? Are you meeting your goals, etc.? Family. Are you having a family that you enjoy to be around? Are you spending time with them? Are you a positive influence on them? All of those things are things you're going to want to go around your wheel, make your definitions of what's important to you and note your number, your ranking. Now go to the future and take a look again. If you have a low ranking in an area, decide, is it really important to you? Maybe this year is really important for your health or your family. So make that a priority and try to get 1 or 2 points higher in your future state. This is going to give you focus and stretch, but not a breaking point. You don't want to make it so difficult to achieve that you stop. You don't want failure. This isn't a black-white, yes-no, win-fail situation. This is do better. Where do you want to do better? Pick 1 to 3 areas and then do that. Focus on the things you can do to do those things better. And just by creating that focus, by thinking about thinking and thinking about focusing yourself, you're already going to be on the way to getting better at it. Next is themes. Themes are something I really believe in, and 𝐜𝐨𝐫𝐞 has done a great job at this, of explaining themes. And I'll put a link to his video in the link below, and I'll put a card up here to it as well. I think it's a great way to understand the concept of not resolutions, but an area of broad focus. Again, you're not trying to get to a win-lose, absolute black-white situation. You're trying to give yourself a guide, something to trend you through the year, not give you an absolute direction. That's a great way to help you know how to spend your time, know if you're focusing on what's important to you, and continue to direct yourself toward your wheel and your why. Your why is your core values, the wheel is the thing you want to get better at, and your theme helps you do that. And Gray talks about this concept of resonance. So pick a theme that resonates with you and pick a broad theme. You're not just trying to pick this one specific thing that can either be yes or no, or done or not done. You want to give yourself a challenge to improve broadly. So if your year is the year of family, you might talk about taking more picnics with the kids, but also reading bedtime stories or date nights with the husband. All of that can be part of your plan. In my plan, I picked the year of reading for this example. And so what I want to do is think about how I'm going to improve myself through reading, how I'm going to improve my blogs and other things I do through reading and learning and continuous knowledge acquisition. That's a goal that is very broad. And through this theme, I'm essentially never done. I'm going to continue doing this until I decide I'm ready for my next theme. Now you want to make a plan to really nail down this theme for yourself. You want to visualize this theme. So I've given you a box to do it 2 ways. You can write a sentence, make a short story, or make a pictogram, which I've done both here. I've made a pictogram of reading more gives me better ideas for actionable success. And that's what I want from my year of reading. So try doing that. Give yourself a short story, a picture, or a combination of both to give yourself that vision for your theme, to really embed it, to make sure it's resonating with you. And if you're a project manager or the kind of person who likes concrete action, and plans need action, you might want to do something that looks at your why, your wheel, and your theme, and bundles it into an OKR, or objectives, key results, and initiatives. So I'm going to make an action list related to those 3 things. I'm going to look at my reading list, which is a book list for the year. I'm going to use an app like Blinkist, which summarizes books and also podcasts. And also, I'm going to make a podcast playlist about how I can learn project management, mentorship, and user experience. The 3 things I talk about on this channel. So that's my plan for the year. But it's easy to make a plan, and it can be hard to execute it. So what do you really need to do? Change your behavior. Change is hard. We know change is hard. That's why resolutions fail every year. So the question is, how do you learn? How do you change your behavior, and how do you reinforce it? Are you a person who makes a journal and really gives yourself encouragement and direction and refines thinking through journaling or writing? Maybe you like to read. Maybe you like to build things. You're kinetic. You like sculptures and 3D models. Maybe you're auditory and you really like to listen to things like maybe this video or other kinds of podcasts and blogs. Or maybe you're visual. You want to see a graphic like I do. You want to see something like a pictogram. Whatever that is, what I'd like to suggest is you start by making your wheel, your why, and your theme come together as one document. It doesn't have to be explicit so that people can see your theme for the year on the wall, it could be that, but it could be something else. It could be just a picture that reminds you of the freedom you're going to feel to travel in your year of travel. Or it can be, in year of reading, a book that I always place on my desk so that I know this is the year of reading. Whether I'm reading or listening to a book, it doesn't matter. That's my 3D model for what I'm going to do. So either way, make yourself something visual and come back to it often. Reread your goals. Reread this life guide. Give yourself encouragement. And on the flip side of the page, maybe write down a little bit about how you're doing. Create some milestones for yourself so that you can track your OKRs and see, are you needing more encouragement? Do you need a new direction? Is it working for you, this theme? So check out this life guide. I hope you will. And if you liked this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I'd love to have you join the channel, and I'm so appreciative of those of you who are following me. And I'd like to say, I hope to see you next time on ProjectSkillsMentor.com. Bye-bye, everybody.